What's up, everybody? It's Mover. Today is the track prep day for our track night in America next week. Getting loaded up. You guys met Kaiser? Hey, Kaiser. Say hi. His brother just had CCL repair surgery last week, and he's recovering at his grandma's house. Ma'am. Oh, hey, Snipes. Hey, buddy. So, Kaiser is a one doggy operation right now, but I'm going to install the cooling ducts and the exhaust hardware. Going to swap out the brake fluid, get a track alignment, and do an oil change to 15W50. So that's our plan today, and then next week we'll do a track video. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, fight off. So what are we doing today? We're gonna do, I don't know if this is gonna focus or not.
Track preparation.
Oil
change.
Brake fluid. The rear axle's later. This says after the first event and every 24 hours. So we won't do that. I'm gonna put 100 octane in it at the track.
Okay.
I'm gonna do this tomorrow somewhere on a closed course.
Okay.
And the alignment. So here's the alignment specs. There's a DSC controllers one that we're talking about doing that's streetable. So that's what, we're not going to go full up on the alignment.
Yeah.
Get it? Brakes are bigger than a lot of wheels. So we're installing the brake cooling kit, which is a bunch of plastic. This is the deflector. This is the air box, so to speak. And then it has a duct that runs out here and then cools the rotor. And that's on both sides. The GM instructions sucked, and it took a lot longer than it needed to just to figure out how to attach this thing. But we got it. We just got to tighten it down now, and then we can do the brake fluid change. All right, time to change the brake fluid. It comes with .4 from the factory. However, just to be safe, MOTUL RBF 600 .4.
We use MOTUL and we use AP, are the two that we normally use. I'm gonna have you do pump the brakes a few times.
Pump the brakes.
And then I'll tell you to hold it. And you'll feel the brake pedal go to the floor.
Does it have to be running?
I prefer running with the ABS pump on.
Okay.
You'll feel the brake pedal go to the floor. Don't let off of it until I tell you that it's tight. And then you can let off of it again. There's 2 bleeders per calipers. It will go to the floor once.
I'm holding it.
Hold.
Oh, now it's to the floor.
All right, pump it up.
To the floor.
Pump it up. Hold. Hold. All right, pump it up. Hold. Pump. Hold. Pump.
It's usually the left leg that gets all the work with the clutch.
Pump.
All right, we're about to weigh them. See how much with a half a tank of gas. $35.78. $79. She's a big girl. It just needs a little bit to get rid of the monster truck look. So we've lowered it. Oh wow, you can definitely see the front now. So we did 3/4 of an inch down on the front and a 1/4 inch in the back.
1/4 inch in the back.
Okay. So we're done. And you think it'll handle better?
Oh yeah, it'll be nice and big difference.
One Corvette shows up, they multiply.
They multiply. It's like a breeding ground. All right, so am I done? Can I go back? So we got to do the brake burnishing procedures, and I'm experimenting with the mover POV cam. Brake burnishing. We have already done step 1 because we've got over 200 miles. Repeatedly apply the brakes from 60 miles an hour to 15 miles an hour while decelerating at 0.8 G. This is a hard brake application without activating ABS. Drive 0.6 miles between stops. Repeat until the brake pedal travel starts to increase depending on conditions. I think this will be a fairly good road to do it. We don't need a lot of speed, but we do need a lot of room to go to 15 and back. So that's just for funsies. So we're at the first one at 60. Need 0.8 Gs. How do you tell? All right, that's 1. We'll call that 1. Probably need to do this G meter. There's 0.8. We didn't go down to 15. Okay, we'll get this. So that was 2. There's 15.
One eternity later.
Jesus Christ. Just spin. Just let it spin. That's enough. I think we've done plenty. With the brake burnishing done, you can't really tell, but going back to the original factory wheels and tires and going to install, well, going to install these. So I got to get up under the car. These are the exhaust plates, and I'll show you the screen mesh that I'm planning on doing. That's going to protect the intercooler in here from getting rocks thrown at it. So here we go. Hey buddy, you want to tell him anything? Okay, you keep watching my back. All right, so this actually turned out to be a bigger pain in the ass than I expected. At least getting the car up, because now that it's lowered, my jack doesn't fit underneath. So a little bit of creative work here. So you can see here, this is pretty exposed. What I'm gonna do is take this screen and zip tie it around, and that should protect it from any rocks. It's steel mesh, so it should protect it from any rocks going through here to the intercooler. So that's the plan. So I'm just looking at it, and I think I'm gonna take it off, because I think the risk of this homemade design catastrophically failing and cutting a tire or getting into the brake rotor is higher than the risk of a rock hitting the intercooler. And if GM wanted to protect the intercooler better, then they should have designed it better, because I just don't think this is gonna hold. I don't know. All right, while I think about that, get up underneath here, and we got jack stands everywhere. I really need a quick jack. Gonna install the exhaust plate underneath here. There we go. Work smarter, not harder. Got this side on. You can see there. This is V and this V and that plate. I'll get the other side when I jack the other side of the car up to do the change the wheels. So here we go. All right, here's the verdict. After talking to T-Bear and talking to Doug and thinking about what's the greatest risk, my homemade screen is coming off. Hopefully it doesn't come to bite me, but if GM had wanted this to be protected, they probably would have protected it. So we'll just go with the golden BB principle, because what I'm afraid of is if it shreds, it comes off, it'll shred the tire, it'll get wrapped around the brakes. There's a lot of bad things that could happen. So that's my idea on that. You can see wheels are on, And exhaust cooling kit. Is on those two plates. Those plates, those deflectors, and I guess that keeps the exhaust cool. So now I can drop the car and torque the wheels. That'll do it for the track prep. The only thing I might have to do is change the angle of the spoiler. And I've reached out to a couple people that have tracked the car. You can see here, it's adjustable for more downforce. I think it goes up to 990 pounds. The stock profile is actually not too terrible. But, and the guy I've talked to that's done it, he didn't change the track setting, so he just left it as is. But I've heard if you don't and you have too much air on the front, it'll have a it'll get loose. So I don't know, I'll see. The other thing I'm going to do is probably get a set of Corsa fired up and just remind myself of the track layout, do a couple laps so that I'm not flailing about trying to remember how the track setup goes. So anyway, that will do it for this episode. Kaiser, you want to say anything? You've been in this episode more. He misses his brother, but good job protecting us, buddy, while I was doing the vlog. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Excuse me. Oh, no. Oh! Meant a lot of that. Perfectly fine with the doors off. All box two. Don't be a douche. Rule number 1. Make them tell you no.